for folks who are indigent, it says that you're going to do community service. At about how much per hour is each hour of community service going to be an equivalent to?
Representative Gillespie.
Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker. That actually, I believe, would be up to the judge and the processes that they already have in place when declaring someone indigent.
Representative Pearson.
So I think that's a little bit of a challenge because in your legislation, it articulates that a person who's indigent has to do community service. You don't know how much community service a person would have to do, how many hours they would have to do in order for them to meet the financial requirements that you articulate in your legislation?
Representative Gillespie.
Thank you so much. Again, this is about allowing the judge to use the discretion that they see fit. And I thought you were for that.
Representative Pearson.
Yeah.
Representative Pearson.
Thank you. I'm going to keep together here. Okay. I'm against this bill. It's a bad bill. It fails to meet the requirements that need to be met in order to help people. But I did want to know, because I didn't see it in here, are there any services that are offered the first time that a child is delinquent? Is that automatically in here? You articulate that?
Representative Gillespie.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. This bill only addresses holding parents accountable. There are numerous services in different juvenile courts and juvenile holding facilities all across the state. Do we need more of those? Absolutely. Does this bill address that? No.
Representative Pearson.
Yep, thank you so much, Speaker. And listen, sponsor, and to my colleagues, we all want to do things that help to make our community safer, that ensure that we know where our children are, or our nephews and nieces, our family members, that they are doing things that are productive, that they are becoming contributive members to our society, and in fact, that they are alive, not dying due to issues of gun violence. Those are things many of us at our core desire. This is a bad piece of legislation. And the reason is it does not seek to address any of the root causes that would lead any individual person or child to having two delinquencies. It only seeks to punish parents for the fact that their child is delinquent twice. But the legislation, again, that comes out of this, the language of people who want to be tough on crime, and the language of people who want to talk about the individuals and not the systems, this is where this type of legislation comes from. But it doesn't do a single thing to give more resources to the parent or to the legal guardian. It doesn't say anything about making sure that the kid who's in juvenile court gets more resources to prevent them from ever coming back. It only says if this happens again, there's going to be more of a punishment on the parent. But we have failed to provide parents the resources that they need to care for their children. We don't have a minimum wage that ensures that people are not in poverty. We haven't guaranteed transportation or public transportation for people in our communities. We haven't made sure that the bottom floor for people socioeconomically ensures that they are not in destitute poverty. We have not done the things that we are supposed to do. And someone mentioned, it's not the responsibility of government to raise children. It's also not the responsibility of government to just hand out billion-dollar tax breaks without ensuring that we give billions of dollars of investments into the very communities that we're seeking to police with legislation like this. There's a fundamental disagreement about what government is supposed to be doing. But I believe that it is supposed to be supporting those who have been pushed to the bottom. It's supposed to be supporting the kids who need more interventions. It's supposed to be investing resources into our communities and into our schools. It's supposed to make sure that there are after-school programs. It's supposed to make sure that parents have enough to not just survive, but to thrive. It's supposed to do everything it can to create communities where people can thrive, and we have failed to do that. And the punishment now is going to be on the parents instead of the people with power, which is us.
Representative Gillespie.